Welcome back. In this video, we are going to install Virtualbox, the very basic layer of virtualization on a laptop. Here you can see I have my Macbook Pro and about this Mac, and we can see here it has got 32 gig RAM and it has got 2 gig. Obviously it has I can see the storage. It has got 2 terabyte of flash storage, so it's really good to install a VMware environment. So first thing first, I'm going to install Virtualbox on my laptop. For that I have to go, either you can search Virtualbox or go to virtualbox.org. Here you see that download Virtualbox button is there. Just click it and it will take you to the download page. And if you have got Windows, you go to Windows first. If you have got Linux environment, go to Linux distributions. I have got a Mac, so ESXi environment, so I'll download this one and download the installer, and we'll install after the download. It is done. So double click on the installer and it's now going to install Virtualbox on my laptop. Well, there is another thing I just wanted to make a point here while it is installing. Okay, here let's install it first. So double click on this icon. Continue. So this will take the install. Just click install and use password. This will install the Virtualbox on my laptop, and while it is installing, I just wonder, because this is my laptop, I'm going to create another virtualization layer on this Virtualbox. So I will need the Virtualbox extension pack as well. So we're going to download that for extension pack. We don't need the SDK, so this is for all the supported platform, and download that extension pack as well, Oracle VM Virtualbox extension pack 6, and save it. And let's see, it has downloaded. Installation was successful, and close it. And installer to class. I don't need it anymore. So, and now Virtualbox is installed, and I have downloaded the extension pack as well. So I'm going to run the Virtualbox first. So go to applications and Virtualbox. These are the VMs I have created previously. So I'm going to remove this first. So these are the Virtualbox before installing. In my previous version I created these VMs, so it is there. So doesn't matter. I'm going to create a new complete new environment, virtualization environment. So what we'll need is next we need to install the extension pack, obviously. So I'm going to double click the extension pack. Let's see the finder on the finder. I'm going to double click this, or this way. Otherwise you can install this way as well. Go to preferences and here extensions, and we can add it. Here there's an add button, and go to download the extension pack which I just downloaded, that Oracle BA. Open it and install it. So I agree, and it will ask the password. installing the extension pack. It is successfully installed. Okay, that's all we need, and I closed it. Now I just restart the Virtualbox so that the extension pack will take effect. And now to install VMware ESXi server on the Virtualbox, what I need to do is I need to download ESXi server from VMware environment or from vmware.com. Go to vmware.com. You will see the downloaders. So go to downloads, and here we need the vSphere hypervisor layer. Okay, so here it is, VMware hypervisor, and you have to create an account, then log in, and then you can download it. Okay, so this will be you can use it for 60 days without any license. So 60 days is definitely a good period of learning whatever you want, and it will be completely free. No license will be required, and it will be fully featured VMware environment using the vCenter server. So you don't need a license for 60 days to use VMware ESX or vSphere. So vSphere is an environment which is having two components. One is the underlying hypervisor layer, another is the vCenter server, that's the management server of the virtualization environment. So both combined together is called vSphere. So if you see, I have already downloaded. I will not take more time to download. That's why I've already downloaded, and I have saved in my iOS image here. So here, if you see, this is the ESXi server, VMware VMvisor installer, and this is the vCenter server, which is almost 4.25 gig, and this is only 329.6 MB. So this is the ESXi server, this is the iOS image, and there is another iOS image for the vCenter server. These two files you need to download from VMware environment. Here you actually can vSphere, you go to here and you can download as trial. So you can download as installation, license, and download, and you don't need to actually, if you go to products, VMware hypervisor, download that as well for free, or you can go to downloads and same thing, hypervisor, then and so on and so forth, you can download it. Okay, let's go to installing. We are done here, so I'll close the browser. Now I'll open the Virtualbox. Okay, so this is my Virtualbox console. I'm going to create a new VM. So here, the machine new, you create a new, or you can right click also, or there is a button here called new. So I'm going to ESXi, this is 6.7, right? So here I will show you that we're going to install here 6.7, right? So I am going to say it ESXi maybe 6.7 or I call VMware ESXi 6.7 and put it the machine folder, put it default, or you want to change, you can change it, but I'll keep the default, and then select Linux here, and here, and the Linux format, other Linux 64-bit. Select this one, this is important, 64-bit is important. I have seen if I choose like Red Hat 64, still I can install it, but well, you can safely choose other Linux 64 and continue. So here then how much is the memory, because the system does not know this is ESXi server. It believes that is a simple Linux machine, so it is showing 512 MB, but I can give actually up to 24 or 28 gig of RAM, because I have got 32 gig for RAM. If you have got a 16 gig RAM laptop, you can give also 12 up to 12 gig, and rest you leave it to the underlying OS to use. Don't give all the memory for the VM to be used, otherwise it may hang. When the ESXi is completely running and utilizing all the other services, it may take up the whole RAM of your laptop, and your laptop will not be responsive. So don't use all the RAM here. I'll give 16 gig. So here 16, maybe you can change it later. So you see I have got 32. I'm going up to 16 gig RAM and continue, and then create a virtual hard disk now. So create, yes, and VDI, virtual disk image. This is the format Virtualbox use. So continue, and dynamically allocated. So fixed size, I will not use fixed size right now. I'll use dynamically allocated. And what is the difference is, when I choose dynamically allocated, it will not take the whole disk space right now. That means when I go on adding more and more VMs, the underlying file system is going to increase more and more. But right now it will not utilize the whole disk. So fixed disk, that means it will right now, while creating the VM itself, it will be allocated. The whole file size will be allocated. So I'll keep it dynamically allocated. Continue. Now, how much disk size you have to give? It's a bit important. So here I'll give 40 gig for the ESXi to be installed. Though I can have less also, maybe 30 gig should be fine. Let me give 30 gig. Okay, this is just for my ESX server. I'll create another disk for other VMs. So create, and you see here, this is the ESXi server created. Now this is the virtual hardware. I said I created, this is the underlying virtualization layer, and on that I'm installing ESX, right? Now it does not have, if you see, go to settings, also what is the properties of this virtual hardware. See, I have not installed ESX till now. I have just created a virtual hardware. So it has got system, you see it has got processor, one processor, it has got 16 gig of RAM. So I have got a 6-core processor in my laptop, so I can actually go up to 4-core. That means I am assigning 4 cores to this VM, 4 cores of this laptop, 4 cores of my laptop I'm assigning to my ESXi server, and I'm assigning 16 gig of RAM to it. So that's the meaning of it. So here I can go up to even if 12 vCPUs, 12 CPUs, right? So it has got 6 physical cores, so I can have 12 logical cores. So I can go 12, but I'll right now give only 4, and to keep it so that I don't want my laptop to hang when the whole ESXi is running. Then this is go to storage. Now you see here, this is it is 30 gig only for the ESXi. Now what I'll do is I'll create another hard disk, virtual hard disk here. Click the plus sign and create a new disk, and same virtual disk image, continue, same dynamically allocated, and I'll call it my VMware ESXi disk 2. Okay, so this is the second disk, and I'll give because I have got enough disk space, so I'm going to give 512 gig of space to this disk. Out of 2 terabyte, I am giving 512 gig of disk space, period. You see now there are this is the first disk and this is second disk. And now another thing is, you see this is the round sign, this is the virtual CD-ROM drive. So here I'm going to click, and here I'm going to choose a virtual optical disk file. Click it because I have already done it, that's why it is appearing here. But when you are starting new, you have to choose the virtual disk file, and it will open your folder, and you can choose which one you want to use. So here I'm going to choose the ESXi server, which is the smaller file. If you have a doubt which is the smaller size file, this is the one which is 300 MBs, and this will be the vCenter server, which is 4.3 gig. Choose that, the smaller ISO file, open it, and okay. Yes, this is 304 MB, so this is an image, and click OK. That's all. Now, so that means my virtual hardware is now created. I have assigned 16 gig of RAM, 4 processors, and I have a disk, that is the of disk, which is a virtual disk, which from which disk this ESXi will be installed. And let's go ahead and select it and start it. So okay, this is too small, so what I'm going to do is view 200. Okay, so here it is. The installation started of ESXi installer, and we'll see different steps. It's fairly simple. It will quickly install the ESXi server. Okay, so initializing. Okay, it is showing here 15.6. I can change it later. So initially you can give anything actually, because that's the advantages of virtualized environment. You can downgrade it, you can upgrade it, you can increase the memory, you can increase the number of CPUs to your VMs. So it does not matter how much you have given now. So let's wait. Okay, now I'll close it. I'll click inside and enter. So F11. So I'll click F11. Okay, now you see here there are 2 disks which we created. One is 30 gig, another is 512 gig, right? So I'm going to install my ESX on the 30 gig one, the first hard disk. So it is already selected. I don't need to change it, so I need to just enter to continue. US default is the keyboard, enter, and give a password, and which is, maybe you can change this password later. So give if you want to give a good one, that's a strong password you can give, but I'll give a simple password so that I can remember. I just gave ABCD 1 2 3 4. So okay, password match, and enter. Okay, see, warning, hardware virtualization is not a feature of the CPU, it is not enabled. So hosts unsupported device, enter, confirm the install is configured, install F11, installing ESXi. So that's all to it. I'm going to wait. This installation is going to complete very soon. Okay. Installation media, remove the installation media before rebooting. So okay, so how we can do it? We can do by click here, settings, and go to storage, and here we can remove the disk from virtual drive, and okay, and go to the console and enter rebooting. That's all, friends, and let's see, it's restarting, and I'll see that in my next video. And let's see, it is going to boot into the ESXi server. Let's see, let's wait for the server to come up. It will, I believe it won't take much time for booting. So it is now ESXi server is coming up. Okay, I think I forgot another important thing to tell. Obviously, we can get access to it, but the network concept, the networking of part of this ESXi is important. So here by default, when you restart it, you can see it, what is the networking, which network IP address it is getting from, where it is getting from. So here go to network, and you see that attached to NAT. So obviously I can access my ESX to NAT, but if you want to access your ESXi outside your laptop, then this is not the right network configurations. Of course, if as long as I'm utilizing this ESXi server from my laptop, that should be fine. So in fact, I can access it right now. So it is here 10.02.15. I can access it from here. 10.0.2.15. Enter. Okay, here with VirtualBox, I believe you cannot, because you have to do a port forwarding, because the port which it uses, it's not forwarded. So here you can access it, but we have to do a port forwarding here in the network. If you go to advanced, you will have a port forwarding, and you have to add the port of that. But let's not go to that concept. We'll have a very, we'll not go to have any complexity in this, because we are starting. So I'll not doing that port forwarding. I'll restart the VM with another networking configuration so that we can access it directly from anywhere in our home LAN. So how I am going to shut down the server? There is a way to shut down this server. Though I can directly do from here, right click and okay, here you can go to machine and shut down it, Virtualbox, and you can restart it and do the stops, but we can directly do from here the console itself. The safe way is directly, but you should not shut down the VM directly from the VirtualBox environment, but you should shut down it from inside the VM. So this is the VM, and if you see the right side, there is F12 right corner, the bottom corner, F12 shutdown or restart, right? So I'm going to click F12, and this is going to be, it will ask my username and password, ABCD 1 2 3 4. This is I gave, and here then F2 again. This will shut down the VM. So this is the ESXi shutdown, and this is the right way to shut down. And let's once this is shut down, I'll configure the networking. Let's go to the setting now. It is already shut down, it is over. Go to network. Instead of NAT, what I'm going to do is bridged adapter. Use it and click OK. That's all. I changed it to bridged adapter so that it will get the IP address from my router directly, and it will not have a just local IP address. Now I can access it from my home LAN anywhere I want. So again, start it. It's a good practice to watch how it is booting, because you will come to know what are the services it is loading. So though you can always leave it and do some work, but I always look at the what are the services are going to be started. So it gives you a bit more knowledge about what are the process inside ESXi server is running. So we see now it is 192.168.1.36. So 192.168.1.36, enter, and we got it now, and proceed. Here I got the console, and I have to go as root. This is similar to Linux, though it is not exactly Linux, but it has got a root username by default and password which you have already given during installation. I have given my own password and login. well, you can see now there is no virtual machine, and storage, which is the 30 gig storage, which we have created initially, right? And that's all. But that's all about installing the ESXi server. In this video we will cover, and the other configuration of ESXi server, I'll do that. I'll do that in my next video. I'll complete configuration of ESXi, as well as I'll cover installation of vCenter server, the management server. I'm going to create a VM as the, and I'll try to install the management server in that. So thanks for watching this video, and we'll see we'll meet in my next video, and where we'll configure the ESXi and install the vCenter server. Thank you, and thanks for